Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of slope as unit rate. This is standard 8.4b in the great state of Texas, and we're using item number 26 of the 2023 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have a bus here traveling 25 miles in 30 minutes. We need a graph that has a slope that best represents that. Well, let's take a look at what we're working with here. We see 4 different graphs. They all have an upward slope, so we can't eliminate one because it's got a negative slope. All right, so 25 miles per minute, right? So, and that's going to be my y. Notice my y-axis is going to be my miles. Okay, so miles per minute. It is going to be my slope because that is the y-axis over the x-axis, right? So that's going to be 25 over 30. That's what they give me, 25 miles over 30 minutes. So if you reduce that by 5s, right, that's going to be 5/6. So it's going to be slightly less than 1, which means it's going to be a growth rate that is still positive, but not super steep. So I'm thinking it's not going to be that D that looks pretty steep. But let's look. Let's see what we can find here. So 25 miles. Right, let's just graph each of these here. All right, so I'm looking for a point here that looks like it's right on the intersection of 2 different ones. And quite honestly, on A, they all look like they're on an intersection, right? So this looks like, this one right here looks like it's going to be 10 over 10, right? And then it looks like it's going to be 20 over 20. It looks like it's going to be 30 over 30. So the intersection looks pretty tight there. So that's just going to equal 1. It's got a slope of 1. And it needs to be, 25 over 30, not 30 over 30. So it's this one right here. It needs to be a little bit lower, like maybe right there. That would work for us. So that's not it. So it's not going to be A, and I'll just kind of mark it out over here so we don't mess this up here. All right, so let's see what we've got on B here. I'm seeing, I'm not really seeing any intersections here, but we can go ahead and say, 25 over 30 should be right around there. So that doesn't work. You know what they actually did? Watch this. Here's my x of 25 and my y. They crossed it right at the 30. So they just flipped it. They just did 30 over 25, right? So that's going to be a 6/5, slightly greater than 1. So they just flip that. So it's not going to be B either. Let's check C or D. Go ahead and change colors here. All right, so I don't see any intersections there, so I might as well just look at my 25 and my 30. Yeah, that's actually looking pretty good. 25 over 30. Okay, so 25 over 30, yeah, that looks like that one might work on C. Equals 5/6. Yeah, so C is definitely a question mark, but remember that we needed to go ahead and check the D as well. Right, if we double 25 over 30, right, that's going to be 50 over 60, which is right at the very edge of both, but you see that arrow points right at that 50, and that's a 60 right there. So that works. Let's check this last one. I'll change that to green. Ooh, that is 20 over 50. Okay, so that's a 50 over 20. That's strange. That's not anywhere close. That's 5/2. That's 2.5 slope. Much too steep. So definitely not D. All right. So after looking at all of that, we've got our 25 over 30 right there. My answer is going to be C.